There was a story told to me by a Jewish musician about the diaspora yeshiva band. Every year, the musical group would wait until the precise moment after Tisha B'Av when it was mutar, when it was permitted to play their lively and live music again. They would count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and at that exact moment, the band would fire up and start their joyous playing again. Now, since the performance of the band happened right after Tisha B'Av, following the deep mourning of that day, the restrictions of the 9 days and the sadness and the prohibitions of the 3 weeks, the practice of the band seems a bit jarring. We know specifically that the halachic restrictions of that period of time are very gradually lifted, just as any time when we come out of mourning, we do so slowly because emotional wounds take a while to heal. But the leaders of the band were making a point, and their actions were completely intentional. Their message was this: sorrow must come to an end. So while it is true that the Jewish people has known a great deal of sadness and desolation, we are also a nation that knows that unhappiness has an end. As it says in Tehillim, Ba'erev yalin bechi ulavoker rina, weeping may endure at night, but joy comes in the morning. And this has been our experience as a people. We saw the slavery of Egypt, but we also saw the Promised Land. We saw the destruction of Beit Rishon, of Shlomo's temple, but we also saw the rebuilding of the second temple, of Beit Sheni. We saw the destruction of Beit Sheni, but we also saw the creation and the establishment of Medinat Yisrael, of the state of Israel. For 2,000 years, through exile, through crusades, through pogroms, and even through the Shoah, we encountered great misery, but we never lost our faith that our suffering would come to an end, and just as Hashem had redeemed us in the past, we knew that certainly He would redeem us again in the future. As we experience these summer months this year, we cannot help but feel a sense of loss and sadness. So many of our plans were canceled and changed. People and places that we had planned to visit, we had to stop and change those plans. And long planned vacations just did not take place. Of course, as Jews, we've always looked at the summer months with mixed emotions. We prepare for weeks without weddings, without wine, without meat, and without music. But the diaspora band reminds us that the message of Jewish history is that while we know sorrow, we also know that sorrow ends. For those people in the world around us today who are asking, will this ever end? Will our lives ever go back to normal? We, the Jewish people, Am Yisrael, we can confidently say, yes, we know that this too shall pass. We're constantly being told now that we live in unprecedented times. But as Jews, we know this is just not true. In our tefillot every day, we remind ourselves of past trials and tribulations. However, when we recall our past pain, we always do so in the spirit of hope and healing. The mitzvah that we observe, that we recall in our prayers, is that we remember every day Yetziat Mitzrayim, the exodus from Egypt, not that we remember the enslavement of Egypt. We remember the Geula, the salvation, not the shibud, not the suffering. The mitzvah is not to marinate in our tears, but to remind ourselves that we survived, that we overcame, we were redeemed, and our suffering ended. Knowing that God has come to our rescue so many times in the past is what reassures us that He will save us once more, as we say in the Siddur, Misha Asan Nisim Lavotenu Vegal Otam, Hu Yig'al Otanu Bekarov. God, who did miracles for our ancestors and redeemed them, He will certainly redeem us and do so very soon. Chaverim Kol Yisrael. Amen.